All right, let's cut the crap and dive into some deep shit. Unix-like operating systems.
Yeah, deep shit
You
indeed.
probably use this shit every day and don't even know it. I'm talking phones, laptops, those massive server farms making the internet go boop.
Right. It's everywhere, man.
It's everywhere, and we're going to break it down.
Let's do it.
So, for those of us who haven't spent our lives huffing server fumes, what the hell is a Unix-like system? Is it some exclusive club with a secret handshake?
Think of it more like a philosophy, a blueprint
Okay.
for how a system should work. It's not a specific thing.
Like Windows.
Like Windows, right. You can have a ton of different systems that are all Unix-like because they follow the same basic principles, the same DNA, so to speak.
So like a bunch of different bands playing the same genre of music.
Exactly.
You got your heavy metal Unix, your mellow acoustic Unix, even some experimental jazz Unix.
Right. But you can still recognize that core Unix sound.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, so it's a vibe.
It's a vibe, yeah. But legally speaking, how do you even define this Unix-like thing? Is there like a rule book?
It gets messy.
Of course it does.
See, Unix itself is a trademark owned by the Open Group, and they are serious about who gets to use it. They're like the goddamn mafia of operating systems, you know what I mean?
So it's like champagne. You can't just call any sparkling wine champagne.
Well, right. It has to come from that specific region in France.
Exactly.
So Unix-like is kind of the catch-all term for systems that act like Unix but didn't get the official blessing, you know? It's like those knockoff designer bags.
Yeah.
Same style, different label.
Clever bastards. So within this Unix-like world, are there different levels of like how Unixy something is?
Absolutely. You've got your genetic UNIX systems.
Okay.
Direct descendants, you know, with the original Unix code running through their veins.
Right.
Then there's trademark UNX.
Right.
The guys who paid their dues, went through the certification process, earned the right to wear that official UNX badge.
So the legit heirs and the guys who bought their way in, what are the rebels?
Yeah, the ones who are like, screw the rules, we're Unix enough.
Fuck yeah.
Those are your functional UNIX systems. They might not be related to the original Unix code at all, but they behave so much like it, they might as well be, you know?
Yeah.
It's all about how they act, the commands they use, the whole structure of the system.
Got it.
Yeah.
So we got our Unix-like family tree sorted out.
We do.
Now, where the hell did this all begin?
Oh, man.
Was it some dude in his basement with a soldering iron and a dream?
It's a wild story, man.
Lay it on me.
Picture the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
Unix was this awesome but expensive system, mostly used in universities and labs.
Right.
And a bunch of companies were like, we want a piece of that action, but we ain't paying those outrageous fees.
Yeah.
So they started ripping it off, making their own bootleg versions.
The wild west of coding. So what did the original Unix crew do about this? Did they lawyer up and unleash hell?
Well, essentially, yeah. AT&T, the company that owned Unix, realized they were sitting on a gold mine.
Uh-huh.
They started licensing Unix out, which led to this boom of official Unix versions.
Gotcha.
But as you can imagine, everyone's Unix started evolving in its own way, created a real mess.
Like a game of telephone where the message gets more screwed up with each whisper?
Exactly. It was getting chaotic.
Mm-hmm.
So to try and maintain some semblance of order, they came up with standards like POSSX.
Right.
It's basically a set of rules for how Unix-like systems should behave, you know, a common language for all these different dialects.
So POSX was like the United Nations of Unix, trying to keep the peace between all these different flavors.
You could say that.
Okay.
But meanwhile, there was another group stirring up trouble.
Oh.
The free software hippies.
Okay.
They weren't into the whole corporate proprietary thing, you know?
Yeah.
They wanted Unix to be free and open to everyone, so they started creating their own Unix-like systems, like BSD and, of course, the legendary Linux.
Yeah.
And
Linux, the open source rebel that spawned 1,000 distros.
right.
Which are basically different versions of
Yeah,
Linux.
you got it.
Okay.
Each distro has its own quirks and focuses, but they all share that core Linux DNA.
Yeah.
It's like a choose your own adventure for operating systems.
Okay, so we've got our history lesson down,
We do.
but let's bring it back to our listeners.
Yeah.
Why the hell should they care about all this Unix history?
Because, my friend, Unix-like systems are everywhere. They run the internet, power your cloud services. Hell, they might even be running on your goddamn smartphone.
So even if you're not some hardcore programmer, knowing a bit about Unix can make you a more informed user.
Absolutely. It's
Yeah.
like knowing the difference between a single malt and a blended whiskey.
Okay.
You'll be able to bullshit your way through any tech conversation.
All right, so we've covered what Unix-like means and where it all came from.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's get to the juicy stuff.
The good stuff.
The unexpected knowledge that'll make our listeners sound like goddamn geniuses at their next tech meetup. Hit me with it.
All right, you ready for this?
I'm ready.
You know Mac OS, the operating system on those fancy Apple computers?
Yeah.
It's actually a certified Unix system.
Hold the phone. Apple, the company known for being all sleek and proprietary, is part of the Unix club.
It's true. They're like the undercover agent of the Unix world, hiding in plain sight.
That's some bullshit.
It is, right? And speaking of bullshit, did you hear about the guy who tried to sue over the Unix trademark?
Oh, yeah. Tell me he got laughed out of court.
He lost.
Oh.
Twice. People take this Unix stuff seriously, man. It's like a religion to some.
Fanatics. I love it. What else you got?
Okay, this one's a bit of a conspiracy theory.
Oh.
Linux, the open source darling,
Yeah.
almost became a certified Unix.
Really?
There was this whole project to make it happen, but it died a mysterious death.
What? Why the hell would they let that happen?
No one knows for sure.
Yeah.
Some say it was laziness, others whisper about political pressure. It's one of those great tech mysteries, you know?
Yeah.
But hey, at least we still have all those amazing Linux distros out there, right?
True that. But speaking of weird Unix stuff, there's this whole other level of crazy compatibility layers.
Mm-hmm.
It's like some Frankenstein monster of operating systems.
Right. You can actually run Unix-like stuff on non-Unix systems.
Oh, wow.
Like Windows.
No way.
It's like having a translator so these systems can, understand each other.
So even if you're stuck in Windows land, you can still get a taste of that Unix goodness. It's like ordering a vegan burger at a steakhouse.
Yeah.
Not the real deal, but close enough to satisfy the craving.
Exactly. It's the next best thing to ditching Windows entirely.
All right, folks, that's it for part 1 of our Unix-like deep dive. We've covered the basics, the history, some juicy tidbits, but we're just getting started. Next time, we're going to dig deeper into why this shit matters in today's world.
Looking forward to it. All right, so last time we talked about what the hell a Unix-like system even is and how this whole crazy family tree got started.
Yeah.
But now, let's get down to brass tacks.
Let's ditch the history lesson and talk about why this shit matters in the real world.
Yeah.
Isn't it all just ancient history at this point?
Hell no.
Like, who cares about some old-ass operating system?
Unix-like systems are far from dead.
Okay.
They're more relevant now than ever.
Really?
Look around you.
Okay.
They're the foundation of the internet, the
Right.
backbone of the cloud, even running on your goddamn smartphone.
Okay, so they're popular, but why?
Yeah.
What makes these Unix-like systems so damn special? Is it like some secret code that makes everything run smoother?
It's not magic, but it's close.
All right.
One of the biggest reasons Unix-like systems have thrived
Yeah.
is their flexibility.
Okay.
They're like a Lego set for operating systems.
Hmm.
You can mix and match components, customize them to your heart's content, and build exactly the system you need.
So it's not some one-size-fits-all crap like certain other operating systems we could mention?
Nope. Unix-like systems are all about choice.
Gotcha.
That's why there are so many different flavors or distros of Unix out there.
Right.
From hardcore server versions to user-friendly desktop environments.
Yeah.
There's something for everyone.
That's probably why programmers and tech nerds go apeshit for this stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Unix-like systems are a tinkerer's paradise.
Okay.
But it's not just about customization.
Right.
These systems are also known for their stability
Okay.
and their security. They've been battle-tested for decades,
Right.
running everything from critical infrastructure to financial systems.
So they're like the old reliable pickup truck of operating systems.
Mhm.
They might not be flashy,
Mhm.
but they'll get the job done without breaking down.
Perfect analogy. And because they're so stable and secure, they're a favorite for servers
right.
and other mission-critical applications where reliability is key.
Okay, so we've got flexibility, stability, and security.
Mhm.
Anything else?
Yeah.
Give me more ammo for my next tech bro showdown.
How about power?
Okay.
Unix-like systems are known for their efficiency and their ability to handle massive workloads.
Right.
They can squeeze every ounce of performance out of your hardware.
Like a Formula One race car compared to a beat-up minivan.
You got it.
All right.
And let's not forget the power of the command line. It might seem intimidating at first, but once you learn the basics, it's like having a superpower.
Okay.
You can do things with a few keystrokes that would take forever in a graphical interface.
Okay, I'll admit the command line is starting to sound kind of badass.
Yeah.
But let's be real, most people aren't going to be hacking away at a terminal all day.
Right.
What's the takeaway for the average person who just wants to use their computer or phone without all the techie bullshit?
Even if you never touch a command line in your life,
Right.
understanding the principles behind Unix-like systems can make you a more informed tech user.
Okay.
You'll have a better grasp of how things work under the hood,
Gotcha.
and you'll be less likely to fall for marketing hype.
So it's like knowing how to change your own oil. You don't have to do it all the time, but it's good to know how it works, just in case.
Exactly.
Okay.
Plus, you'll sound way smarter at parties when you drop some Unix knowledge.
All right, I'm sold.
Yeah.
This stuff is everywhere.
It is.
It's like the air we breathe, but for the digital world.
Yeah.
Kind of mind-blowing when you think about it.
It really is.
Yeah.
And the craziest part is that most of this amazing technology is built on open source principles.
Right.
People from all over the world collaborating to make something incredible.
Yeah.
And they're not even doing it for the money. It's a beautiful thing.
It's like the Wikipedia of operating systems.
Yeah.
A global community of nerds coming together to build something awesome.
Exactly. And that's one of the reasons Unix-like systems have been so successful. They're constantly evolving, being improved by a massive community of developers.
Yeah.
It's like a living, breathing organism, constantly adapting and changing.
That's a pretty awesome legacy for something that started with a bunch of guys tinkering in a lab.
It is.
It's like the ultimate revenge of the nerds.
You could say that.
Right.
And who knows what the future holds for Unix-like systems.
Yeah.
They've already conquered the server world, the cloud, and our mobile devices.
Right.
What's next?
Maybe they'll take over our toasters and refrigerators.
Right.
Imagine a Unix-powered smart fridge that can order groceries and make cocktails.
Hey, don't laugh.
Okay.
It could happen. The possibilities are endless. But seriously, think about the implications.
Right.
Unix-like systems are everywhere.
Yeah.
And they're only becoming more important as our world becomes increasingly reliant on technology.
Okay, that's a bit freaky. Are we all going to be living in some kind of Unix-powered matrix?
Maybe not a matrix.
Okay.
But the influence of Unix-like systems is undeniable.
Sure.
They've shaped the way we communicate, access information, and even control our homes.
So what does this mean for the average person who isn't a tech expert?
Yeah.
Should we be worried?
Not necessarily worried, but informed.
Right.
Understanding how these systems work,
Yeah.
even at a basic level, can give you a sense of control over your own digital life.
I get it.
Yeah.
Knowledge is power. But what if I just want to binge watch Netflix and ignore all this tech stuff?
That's fine.
Okay.
But remember, even Netflix runs on servers.
Sure.
And those servers are most likely running some flavor of Unix.
Yeah.
So whether you like it or not,
Yeah.
Unix is a part of your life.
Damn, you're right. There's no escaping it.
Nope.
All right, folks, that's it for part 2 of our Unix-like deep dive.
Okay.
We've covered why these systems are so damn important and how they've shaped the tech landscape.
Yeah.
But we're not done yet.
No.
Next time, we're going to get philosophical
Ooh.
and explore the implications of a world increasingly dominated by Unix-like systems.
Yeah.
All right, so we've established that Unix-like systems are basically running the world.
Pretty much, yeah.
They're powerful, they're everywhere, and they're built on this whole open source collaborative thing. But let's get real. What does this all mean for the average person who isn't a programmer or a sysadmin? Should we be building shrines to the Unix gods or something?
No need for shrines.
Okay.
But understanding the foundations of the tech world is pretty crucial these days, you know? It's like knowing how your government works or where your food comes from. You don't have to be an expert.
Right.
But a little knowledge goes a long way.
So it's like knowing how to spot a phishing scam or understanding why that new smart device might be a privacy nightmare.
Exactly. Knowing a bit about Unix-like systems can help you see through the bullshit and make informed decisions about the technology you use every day.
Okay, I can dig that, but let's be honest. Most people aren't going to ditch their iPhones and start hacking Linux distros just because they listen to this deep dive.
True, but that's not the point.
Okay.
It's more about having like a basic understanding of the principles, right?
Right.
Behind the technology that shapes our world. Plus, you'll sound way smarter at parties when you can drop some Unix knowledge.
All right, you've convinced me. So let's wrap this up with a mind-blowing thought for our listeners to ponder.
Okay.
What would the tech landscape look like today Without Unix and its rebellious offspring, would we all be stuck in some Orwellian hellscape controlled by a handful of mega corporations?
Ooh, that's a chilling thought.
Yeah.
Unix and the open source movement have had a profound impact on the tech world, fostering innovation and competition. Without them, things could be very different. We might be living in a world where everything is locked down.
Right.
Controlled by a few giant companies, no room for individual creativity or freedom.
Damn, that's a bleak picture.
Yeah.
So what's the takeaway here?
Yeah.
What do we want our listeners to do with all this newfound knowledge?
Go explore.
Okay.
Dip your toes into the world of Unix-like systems. Install a Linux distro on an old computer, tinker with the command line.
Right.
See what all the fuss is about. You might just discover a whole new world of computing that you never knew existed.
All right, folks, that's it for our Unix-like deep dive. We've covered a lot of ground, from the history to the impact. But we've only scratched the surface. There's a whole universe of information out there just waiting to be explored.
Absolutely.
So go forth and learn. And remember, in the world of tech, knowledge is power. Peace out.